not have been told they were on a suicide mission by their leaders. The leaders of the East Rebellion knew before they began that their weapons and help from Germany had been stopped. They knew their mission was doomed before it got started. Did the leaders have a responsibility to tell their men about the situation?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. I think they did have a responsibility to tell their men. They fired them up.
Well, the thing with the
I
lack
think a lot of them knew it.
I think they did. I don't think they really expected to win. I think they probably expected a bigger fight and a more widespread fight. I don't think they thought that it was going to light a fire that would spread and do like wildfire and the whole country would rise up. I don't think in their heart they couldn't have expected that.
The leaders were fanatics. Patrick Pearse, I have no doubt, was a total fanatic. He was obsessed with Irish nationalism, and he came up with the odd concepts of blood sacrifice. You know,
he knew he was going to die. I mean, I think the martyrdom was there.
Well,
and he was irresponsible because his personal desire for
yeah.
martyrdom caused a lot of people to die.
Yeah.
You know, and I would say he was.
There was an arrogance there, right? There was an arrogance.
He was an arrogant intellectual.
For instance, you only see Patrick Pearse photographed or from the South.
In the imperial, like Caesar on a coin.
But you know why?
Looking from one side.
The reason is
he had a squint in his other eye, and he wouldn't have it known that there was a flaw. So you kind of go.
Yeah.
When you think back on the insides of something like that, it's like you kind of go.
Yeah.
You doubt him.
But
he
their
wasn't a
idealism,
perfect soldier.
but their idealism was that they saw martyrdom as a positive dimension towards Irish freedom, to lead towards Irish freedom, and to the Al Qaeda hijackers, and whether they've been told or not been told, you know, there is a great parallel there.
I wouldn't say. I'm not sure.
Well, there isn't a parallel.
But they did
They
certainly
didn't go
stop.
to certain doom.
No.
No, they didn't. They didn't go to certain doom, but they
But
knew
these guys
they
didn't
probably
know
would
going
be
to certain
killed.
doom either.
The hijackers.
No, they didn't.
Of course they did. Flying a plane into a building.
No,
No,
a lot of them didn't know.
Maybe the pilot knew. But
Really?
a few of them.
They did.
No, well, that's what the question is asking.
Yeah.
Someone
Well,
who
how would they
didn't
have
know.
believed where they were going if they weren't
I
going?
thought they might have been hijacking a plane.
Oh,
You know.
Well, this is a theory that's put out.
Yeah, but it's a good question, though. But the
Interesting.
question still remains in terms of responsibility to tell them.
One interesting point, and I mentioned it earlier on, is that one of the leaders of 1916 survived to die in bed in the 90s.
That's Eamon de Valera.
Eamon de Valera, and he was sentenced to death and should have been shot.
American citizenship.
He got up.
It has its uses.
but he also escaped from prison in
But it
England.
was an arguable case, and he argued it. So there were pragmatists in there who kind of figured, you know.
The British wouldn't want to upset America. Ally.
No. What I'm
he was
arguing
able
is that de Valera argued the case, or let it be argued on his behalf,
He argued
To
it.
stop himself being
to
shot.
stop himself being shot. And you kind of go afterwards, and it has always been because of the Civil War, and because either people were either pro-Dev or anti-Dev. It became a controversial thing. It's like, where was the heroism in that? Why does he let the other
Guys,
guys die and survive as, you know, pulling out
the
the trump card? And he went on to become the Taoiseach, the Prime Minister, the President, and fought through. Well,
yeah.
It seems like a lot.
he went and fought his fellow brothers or whatever in the Civil War and went on, and you kind of go, there's pragmatism for you. There's the politician who was going to go.
Yeah.
And you kind of go, so there was a big diversity between the heroes, maybe the poets, the martyrs, the people who went like that, and then there was the fighting men, like Michael
Well,
Collins.
Michael Collins was assassinated, and then there was implications for
who were ruthless,
Yes.
pragmatic, ruthless, determined, and then you had the de Valeras who survived all of that and went on to rule, and you kind of go,
I think my own belief, my own personal, it's all very murky now, and there wasn't. I don't believe there was any real great, you know.
that's the next question. We keep jumping ahead.
Next question.
We keep